4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's what it sounded like when we did our gender reveal and found out we're having
Another girl.
in our
Woo-hoo.
house.
Poor you, babe.
And that's what a lot of people have been saying. Poor you. Instead of congratulate, they're like, congrats, but poor you. So it's an interesting feeling.
You're going to be the only man again. There's
Yeah.
no boys to accompany you to, to balance out the estrogen and testosterone. No, there's none of that. And wait till they all get older. They'll have their periods at the same time.
No, don't say
You're
that.
gonna bring home boys or girlfriends at the same time, friends going out, the clubbing. Dad can have the car. Daddy can have some money.
Stop. You give me anxiety now. But I guess it's funny because a lot of people have been asking. You can watch the gender reveal on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page as well, at Cousin Vinny MTL. If you're not following me, go check it out. And you can see my face instantly.
It was genuine.
I know, but a lot of people, they started questioning me. They're like, are you disappointed? Because you look like you're in shock. I'm like, I'm not disappointed. We're having another child. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess for me, I was like, wow, you have two the same sex and then a third again. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, at least I have another chance. It could
Yes.
be a boy, right? Like the third time's
Yes.
the charm.
and it didn't happen. So I guess if you're in this situation, we've been getting a lot of people reach out, baby. People were like, I have 3 girls, or I have 3 boys, or I have 4 boys or 4 girls. It's amazing. It's great because there's a lot of positives, right? When you have all of them of the same sex.
All the same sex. They're so close in age. You
Yeah.
already have all the toys.
That's
you have
true.
all the gear. Right? Everything is pink or, purple or whatever.
You know what to
We have-
expect.
We know what to expect. So we have all the girl stuff. It's not that I'm going out to buy different toys, different clothes. Like it's going to be all these brand new clothes that our daughters barely wore. And now the baby's going to be wearing
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And all these cute little dresses. And then, my obsession with the bows. So sorry, babe. I'm going to be buying more bows.
All right. I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But I think there's a real special bond when you have kids all the same gender. I mean, of course you see brothers and sisters close and it's a beautiful thing,
Of
but
course.
there's just something special about not only having 2 of the same gender, but now we're going to have 3. It's like they're building their own little team and they have each other. They're friends for life,
Yeah, they're
right?
going
It's
to be
beautiful.
building a team against us.
Probably.
We're outnumbered. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all going to get along. We
That's
hope
true. That's
that
true.
because they're so close in age and all the same sex, that they're going to grow up together and be friends, like these close best friends.
Yeah.
You don't know. Their personalities too, as we're seeing, they're so different.
Yeah.
And they fight like crazy.
I
And they're
know.
2 and 3.5 years old. Can you imagine when they're 15 and 17 years old? And
I know.
who knows?
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about a lot of more of like the
dynamics.
arguments and the
Yeah.
dynamics, because when you have children of opposite sex, like I have a brother and a sister, and me and my sister, we wouldn't like my brother and I used to fight because I used to take his clothes. So I can see a lot of that happening between sisters close ages, like or perhaps like they'll be interested in the same people to date, or
because they're so close, especially Sia and Maya. They're
That's
only
what I
17
mean.
months apart. They're going to be going to the same school.
like I almost see more arguing between them.
Yeah, they may fight over the same boys. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's it. That could happen, and
But they may even share the same friends and end up going out clubbing together.
That's true.
And hanging out with the same people. So there's a lot of positives that could come out of it. Or they could just completely be 2 different people,
Yeah.
3 different people, and have 3 different styles.
True.
One could be a tomboy, the other one could be very girly, the other one could be very, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know what to expect. We hope that they'll have all these
hope so, too.
commonalities between them,
Yeah.
similar interests. But you know,
You hope.
You hope.
Yeah. If you have any tips, if you have a few of kids who are 2 boys, 2 girls, 3 girls, 3 boys, if you have any tips that you'd love to share with us,
Oh, please.
please hit us
Send them
up.
our way.
We're gonna need as much help as possible. And Tina and I, we actually started talking about, okay, who do we know that have 3 girls? We came up with like 5 people or 5 or 6 people that we know in our life
Easily.
that have 3 girls, and we're already asking them questions and on ways that can help, and
And they're all like, get ready. It's rock and roll.
Yeah.
3 kids is busy. 3 of the same is very busy also. What else are they telling? Oh, yeah, especially 3 girls. They'll be like, Vinny, watch out.
Yeah,
for
well,
when
that's
they're
it.
older, especially when they're teenagers.
I know. Everyone's like, I'm sorry for you, man. I'm sorry, man. You gonna be okay? You're gonna be all
Of
right?
course, you're gonna be fine.
You're gonna be okay, bro. 3 girls.
What we were telling our esthetician yesterday, like, you know, we kind of were hoping for a boy. Like,
Yeah.
even me, like, at one point, I saw these little boys at daycare, and I said, oh, it would be so cute to, like, have that little boy and have our 2 older girls who are so mature also for their age,
I know.
taking care of this little boy.
I know.
And, you know, we were kind of like, I think even the week leading up to our gender reveal, I was saying, oh, please, is there a little penis in here? Like, give me a sign that maybe it's a boy. Maybe I'll have a dream.
Yeah.
But my gut was always telling me this is another girl. My pregnancy was so similar. The beginning of the pregnancy was so similar to that of Sia's. So, in just a mother's instinct, I guess, too, was saying it was girl.
Yeah. And
But, you know, like, as much as we wanted, or we hoped that the third would be different, and we get that different experience having a boy and seeing what it's like raising a boy. It's nice to know that we're having another girl. Like I said,
beautiful.
it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
it wouldn't have mattered if we had a boy too. It would have been a
course not.
completely different experience, and one that we would have cherished and loved to embark on
Yeah.
that journey.
At the end of the day, you just want a healthy kid, right? Like,
Healthy, exactly. Because
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh, that's it. You guys, you decided to go for a third because you really want the boy, right?" Like, how many times did we hear that?
Calm down. And a
How
lot
many
of
times did we hear it?
too much. And a lot of
Too
people
much.
thought we were just going for a third
Just
because
to try to get the boy.
just to get the boy. Or Vinny wants the boy, so for sure he wants to have a third. I'm like, first of all, no. We believe we want it. It wasn't even an accident. We wanted to have another child.
Exactly.
It's
Took a bit of convincing.
And then it's like, okay, yeah, I know. And then everyone thought I was like only wanting a boy, and then I must be ultra disappointed. No man thinks like that. I mean, maybe, but not me. Right? And now that I already have girls, you see, it's a beautiful thing. It's absolutely beautiful.
And to get back to my thought, like we were telling our esthetician yesterday, you felt like you were meant to have girls.
I think so. I think
deep down, you and I know that we were just cut out to be girl parents.
Yep. Yeah, and I believe this, and we've had a conversation about it, and maybe you agree or disagree, but I think there's certain men especially that are cut out to have girls. And I believe I'm one of those men. I've said this millions of times, I've always been more comfortable around women and groups of girls, and I work on a radio station that targets women. I always have, and I always feel like I can connect to them on a certain level.
But you have sister-in-law, nieces.
Yeah.
You know, you're surrounded by women.
Close
even
to
in
my
your-
mom,
in-
too.
close to
Yeah.
your mom. You're close to like your friends' wives and girlfriends, and it's like you've always had that special connection with
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the reasons why you and I connected so fast too. So it's so easy to talk to you because you had all this experience.
I guess, no,
being
but
around women.
sure, I know it sounds bad the way we're saying it, but not like that.
no.
Not in like a disrespectful way.
Absolutely not,
More of like
no.
just in it from a communication standpoint. Because now that I look back at my life, and I my father too was like that. Mind you, he ended up having more boys, but it's funny. Think of all the men in your life now. Think of if you have brothers, siblings. Think of your dad. Think of perhaps an uncle or your friends' husbands or whatever. Think of them, because we can think of men in our life too who are like, they're better off with boys.
Yes, and I can say
You
the
know?
same. As a woman, I can look at some of my friends or other women that I know in the community, and I'm like, yeah, you're cut out to be just for a girl mom, and you're cut out
Funny,
to be
eh?
a girl, a boy mom. You're a boy mom or you're a girl mom.
What is it about them though? What is it about it?
I don't know. Just something
Yeah.
about their characters, I guess, or their personalities. And I'm like, yeah, you're good with having boys. And then you look at other moms and you're like, yeah, you need to have the girls. Like, you're
Yeah.
very girly and dainty yourself. And like, I just look at some of my friends. I'm like, yeah, you're good with a girl.
I get it, because I look at the men, and from a man standpoint, I look at like the sensitivity and the emotional
That's important.
part of it, and I look at like people in my life, and I'm like, maybe there's only a few of them, 1 or 2 of them, that are more like they open and can be vulnerable. Mind you, having a daughter can really change that, right? Like if you're harder, if you've got a harder shell and you don't open up, maybe having a
Yeah.
girl can bring out parts of you that you didn't know you had.
Maybe or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Or maybe not.
Some men
you know?
who have a hard time expressing themselves, You
True.
know, I find it's very difficult if you have a girl, and girls, you know, as you see with our girls, they come and they tell you everything and they
Oh my
share
God,
everything.
already.
You're so open. You're very open with them too.
Yeah.
And you engage in these conversations with them that you would never think you would have with a 3-year-old. And we've been
crazy.
saying with Maya, she's turning 2, and you're like, wow, we could have a conversation with her.
It's amazing how early it starts, how smart they are. It's
So
unreal.
Some men who just don't know how to come out of their shell, who don't
Yeah.
know how to communicate properly, might be harder on with having a daughter who, in the long run, in the future, might need that male role model figure
Yeah.
in her life to teach her how to communicate with boys and friends along the way.
It's true. And one thing that babe, it's funny. I was thinking about that this week. And maybe because I keep thinking, okay, we're having another girl. And now that we have our 2 girls, and the way I'm very affectionate with our kids. Our kids are very affectionate.
So affectionate.
You're very affectionate as well. I've been hugging Sia a lot and Maya a lot lately. And
They were running to you.
yeah. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, see, I need to do this. Like, I need to do this as they grow up. I need to show.
Show emotion, show vulnerability,
Yes.
show that you're there for
And those
them.
good male qualities. They need
Yes.
that.
Yeah, because I grew up like that.
I know. Your
I
dad's a
had
good
fathers.
man.
My dad's
Yeah.
a good man, and I was, his arms were always wide open for me for a hug and an ear to listen to and to give advice to, and
And it's good that our kids have a grandfather too, like that.
oh yeah,
Right?
they
So
love him.
that's
Oh,
what I'm
boy.
saying.
No,
It's the
no.
same-
no.
But it's so and it's so important now. Being a man who's like almost 40, you don't think of these things when you're younger.
No.
But as you get older, you start thinking back to your childhood too, and like, okay, well, what did I see? I had an older father who was very open, very transparent, used to be very emotional, used to cry a lot.
But your father's
you know?
unique. He ended up having 4 boys and just 1
Yeah,
daughter.
4 boys and 1 daughter in total, and he would have been great with more girls.
Oh, of course.
He would have been fantastic.
I remember your dad.
Yeah.
What a charmer he was.
He
And I
was.
was what, 10 years old when I knew him.
Yeah. But I look at that and now I think of how I am with my girls and how important it is. I'm the only, male they're going to see. Now that I know we're not having any boys, it's like, man, that actually, in a way, it's like a bit of pressure in the back of my head too.
Oh.
I try not to think about it, but I'm just like, I'm going to be
Don't.
myself, but I'm always going to try to enforce open communication. They can talk to me about boys,
Good
school,
male
whatever,
qualities.
girls. Yeah. Yeah. We have to be accepting of, the decisions they make. And, now it's more of, I say easier. It is easier.
What do you mean?
It's almost like easier now with kids if you think about it. Because it's all like the basic stuff, like keep them busy, they're fun, they love you.
Yeah.
But I know, think
gonna
about
change.
it. In like 10 years from now, that's the part where, wow, we're going to have to like turn it on as parents in a sense, right? Think of all the things they're going to be going through when they're teenagers.
Yes.
All
and
the
what's very-
changes.
and what's very important is that the parents stay on the same page. That the
Yeah.
parents, that you and I communicate.
Yeah, it's true.
We set the ground rules and we're always on the same page. Not that they're going to start pinning us against each other. Yeah, well, mommy said yes, daddy said no, or vice versa,
It's
So
funny.
It's very important. We have to be on the same page.
It's true, babe. And maybe we should do an episode on that another day. But I will say this because I am, sometimes we'll get in stupid arguments and I'll be like, babe, why are you yelling at her? Like, why you're being hard on her? Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But what? I even tell me sometimes too, babe,
Yeah,
you're like,
once
you're
in a
losing your
while.
patience. Why the fuck are you yelling at her?
I
Like,
told them, you can't lose your patience. That's
Yeah.
my job.
but it's so funny because we tell each other the same thing, but we both do it.
Of course we
It's
do.
just
It's
'cause
so human nature.
When
too.
I'm in a bad mood and you're not, or vice versa. So the other day, I don't know, you pissed me off or something. We got into like a stupid little argument or something. And then you yelled at Sia and I was putting Sia down. Why is mommy yelling at me? But I always make sure to say, mommy just wants the best for you. You listen
Good
to
answer.
mommy and she won't yell at you.
Good answer.
But in the back of my head, I'm like pissed off at you. But I can see how parents like will almost throw their spouse under the bus with their kid.
yeah,
uh,
but it's very important that we don't do
I
that.
know, and I'm really making an
And
effort
I'm
not
trying to be mindful of that as well.
As much as I'm mad at you in that moment, I'm like, your mother wants the best for you. She yells at you because you're not listening to her. So just please listen to her. See, that's all we
And
ask.
then I go in and I say, Sia, please listen to mommy. When you do, mommy will not yell at you.
Yeah, but you yell, man.
yeah,
Tina
yeah,
gets
yeah.
like really mad.
That's Italian.
I know.
in me.
I wanted to bring one thing up. That is, I wouldn't know. It's not really changing the topic. It's about before having our third girl. There's a thing that you do to find out the sex beforehand. It's like a little old tradition with a necklace.
Oh, the necklace.
I wanted to
yeah.
bring this up
What are you
because
bringing up here?
there's a lot of you who might think this is crazy, and maybe you do it, or maybe you have other ways that you can tell the sex of the baby before actually finding out what the sex is. And Tina was doing this right up to the gender reveal. Can you explain it? Do you mind?
Yes, so you take a necklace and you put it in front of your belly, and then you see whether it moves around in a circle, or if it moves back and forth. If it goes around in a circle, it means you're having a girl. If it goes back and forth, it's a boy. So I did it quite a few times on myself.
Even behind my back, you were doing it.
Of course, behind your back too, because I'm always curious, and because I do it to other people, and I think I've been wrong maybe once or twice. Literally once or twice on all the people I've done it.
Yeah, I remember having all my friends here like 5 years ago.
I'm sure if one of my friends is listening right now, she'll be like, yep, Tina's talking about me where she was wrong.
But do you remember we had all my friends here, and like nobody had kids at the time, and you went around to all the wives?
Yeah, but that was different. That was like a needle on top of their wrist. That was to see how many kids they were going to have.
Yes, you're right. That was a different
needle.
one.
No, sorry, the necklace in front of the belly is only when a woman is pregnant. So I did it a couple of times on myself before we did the gender reveal, and it came out girl. So in my head too, I was like, we're having a girl, but my gut also was telling me, my motherly instinct, it's a girl, it's a girl. And even when I went to the doctor and he had the results in front of him, I kept telling him, I said, don't tell me. So we're doing the gender reveal in a couple of days. And he goes, oh, well, tell me, what do you think you're having? I said, girl. And then he goes, what do you think what does your husband think you're having? I said, boy. So he looked, and I tried to look through his face, and he's wearing a mask, and I'm trying to look at his eyes to see if he was giving off any signs. Poker face the whole time.
Yeah, well, he's used to it, babe. He's used to it. They go through that all the time.
But he's so like straight faced anyway.
That's funny. So
but I was right. It was a girl.
But if there's somebody pregnant right now, and they haven't hit their 20 week, or they haven't done their harmony test, and they want to know, even if you're like 6 weeks pregnant or something, how exactly?
It's harder to tell at the beginning. Like it's
so
easier when you're a little further along.
So how do you do? You just take any necklace?
A necklace, put it in front, and then you do it 3 times. And you don't move your hand, and you'll see how the necklace just moves on its own.
But so the main part of the necklace, like where
like the pendant
has to be in front of your stomach.
Has to be in front of your stomach. Then you just lift it a little bit out of your stomach, and you see whether it swings back and forth or if it goes around in a circle.
Okay. Yeah. Give it a shot, or maybe you've done this before. I always laugh at Tina. I think she's crazy when she does this stuff. I always think you're hilarious when you do this stuff. I think it's so funny.
My mother did it, and she taught me how to do it. It's something I know a lot of Italians believe in.
Yes, I know. It's like the malocchio too.
The malocchio as well.
It's
it's almost foolproof. Like it works almost like 99% of the time.
You know what I find hilarious is all those people that were wrong before the reveal who are like, "Oh, look, you're, you're, and if you had a baby, you know this. If you were pregnant, or
they look at your body.
They look at your body and they analyze
you. Look at your face.
Oh, get out of here! The first one, we didn't know the sex. We never found out.
Yeah, it was a surprise till the day I gave birth.
And there were so many people who were like, "I can tell by the shape of your stomach is a little more lower. You're having a boy. I'm sure of it." It always makes me laugh because there's so many people who are so wrong.
There's all these theories and
shit makes me laugh.
Funny.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's always wrong. It doesn't make any sense. No, like, do you remember when we went? I'll never forget this. When we went to the pharmacy, we only had Sia at the time, and the pharmacist was telling us what position to do to have a boy.
Oh
and
my
I was
God,
like,
she was even telling you like what to eat. And what to drink.
And I was like, she's a pharmacist? This is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard.
She knows my family for like 30 years.
But I was so I walk away with Tina. I'm like, that's a bunch of horse shit. She literally was telling us what positions.
Wait, what did my uncle tell you?
Oh, so Tina's uncle has 4 boys, okay? 4 boys who are all like in their 30s now or whatever. And he told me, mind you, he says this is like a secret, but I'm just going to reveal it anyway. He said, before you conceive, consume a lot of sugar.
Yeah, drink Coke, eat sweets.
Yeah, so he goes literally before conceiving, like an hour before or something, have Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and have like a chocolate bar. I did not do that.
No, you didn't.
So maybe
we had like the healthiest dinner that night.
Yeah, but what's really ironic though, I have heard a few people say that.
Yeah.
Like, and what's funny is that ever since we've had like the last 2 girls, since I've been eating better and taking care of myself. I don't eat that stuff much anymore.
No, so. I don't even think we have it in the house.
Well, we do. Just, it's like once in a while.
It's like when people ask me, what are you craving? If I say salt, they're like, oh, you're having a boy. if I say I'm craving sweets all the time, oh, you're having a girl.
bunch
I'm
of
like,
horse
no, it
shit.
doesn't make sense. Because like I've always craved like hamburgers and fries throughout all 3 pregnancies, and I had 3 girls.
It's a bunch of horse shit. I even went to go see. I remember talking to. We talked.
The median guy.
No, one medium got it right. He goes like 4 years ago. He said, you're gonna have 3 kids, and you're gonna change radio stations, and the guy was dead on. But there was one last year that we spoke to. We never aired it on our show or anything. She goes, I said, am I gonna have another kid? She goes, you're gonna have another kid. You're having a boy for sure. So
She's just like,
Just
oh, you have 2 girls? Okay,
Yeah,
the third's got to be a boy.
anyway, our due date is late May-ish,
Yeah.
right? Well, I guess we'll see. And another theory is that the third one comes early. That's what I've
Yeah,
heard.
right. People were saying that the
Shit.
second comes earlier.
That did not
but no,
happen.
Maya came like even later than Sia
Yeah,
did.
it's a bunch of horse
So, no,
shit, man.
Not
I'm telling you.
every body is different.
Exactly.
Every pregnancy is different.
And your placenta's in the front. And
Again, that's 3 for 3. I was hoping for a placenta like
Yeah.
in the back, on the side. No, it's in the front again. So I don't feel the baby move
Yeah.
and kick as hard as some of my friends have. Like my friends would send me videos of like their pregnancy. Their bellies are moving. There's waves. There's kicks.
unreal.
There's elbows and knees. And I'm like, I never had any of that. So I was hoping that
It's
the
too
third
bad.
time would have been different. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's not. So, but it's cute. As long as I feel my baby moving, that's all that matters.
I know. And the first pregnancy, Tina was worried a lot, and I don't blame you. And we had to go get those. What are they called again? Non-stress tests, where we run to the hospital and they see, they find the heartbeat on the baby. Did that like 5 times. I remember one time you cried. You called me
the
crying.
first time, my doctor sent me directly to the hospital. He's like, go to the case room and go get a non-stress. I'm like, oh my God.
It was so
I was
scary.
crying. I was
It's-
so scared. I was by myself.
What an awful thing to go through. Any women who had to go through
was
that,
nervous.
and then the second one you're a little better, and this one you seem way less concerned because I think you just
To be
unless
honest,
you're
I
not
started
showing
feeling
it.
her earlier than I felt Sia and Maya.
okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of reassuring.
Okay,
Maybe she's a
good.
bit bigger. Who knows? Or maybe my placenta's differently positioned. I don't know.
I think it's because our house is loud and you're always yelling, so you're always waking her up. I think that's what it
Oh,
is.
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
I know I'm loud. Thanks.
I'm not whatever.
And aren't you lucky? You can have another girl who's gonna
Yeah.
be maybe talking just as loud as I do, if not louder.
Kill me now. If you find me, if we're on Dateline and I disappear and they're like,
You'll know why.
One man left his wife and 3 girls, and the search is still on.
he's been gone for 8.5 months, I'm going to change my identity and just disappear.
I'll still find you. You
'Cause-
know that, right?
Yeah, especially if all your cycles match up. Like if you're all in the same cycle,
Oh, poor you.
there's going to be like Shark Week.
The PMS.
Yeah. Like I'm going to
The
need
hormones.
I'm gonna need 1 week of the month to just like sleep in a hotel and like
Great.
not
You're
be
gonna
here.
let me fend for myself.
no, I'll send. Can I send money and food or something? Just from wherever I
Great.
am.
No problem.
But anyway, thanks for all the
Thank you for the love.
love, the support, and the congratulatory messages. We
We
appreciate
really
it.
appreciate
yeah.
it. It's really been heartwarming. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And we also apologize for not having any new episodes the last couple weeks. We all got COVID.
Aren't we lucky?
Unfortunately, it was a bit of a struggle. If you and your family went through it, you know how much it was a pain in the ass. We couldn't leave our house for 10 days ish.
10 days plus it was the holiday, so we didn't leave our
Yeah.
house for like 2 weeks.
It was really hard to,
It's hard.
to try to record an episode and all that. The kids were home. My voice was shot. You were
Same,
coughing.
I was coughing. This is probably the longest.
Actually,
I've been
you're
able to go
doing- you're doing
without
well.
coughing
Yeah,
and not having a raggedy voice.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know. No, you're sounding good. I'm impressed, babe. Yeah,
congestion's gone and the cough is like practically gone
Yeah.
at this point.
if you are going through it right now, our thoughts are
We
with
feel
you
bad for
because
you.
it's a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
and luckily it didn't hit us too hard. Our kids were fine. I
Mild
got it.
symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it first, and I feel terribly guilty. I have
I
no
know.
fucking clue where I got it. But anyways, we'll leave you with our song that we put together in honor of us all being home and
Yeah, I
getting
think
COVID.
we came up with that song during dinner one night.
Yeah, I don't know how. We just started singing it, and then I kind of wrote it in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I got to record this. This is fun. So it will take us out. And again, thank you so much for listening. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We don't know how it started. No one can smell I farted. We're trying to stay good-hearted. The COVID family. We're staying isolated, starting to get frustrated. This whole thing's complicated. The COVID family.